This is the Samsung Galaxy A52 5G. Yes, I've been using it for a little while, man. Unboxings, did a first impressions, done a charging test video with different supported charging rates because it does support 25 watts and 15 watts, as well as a camera comparison. So I'm ready to give it my full experience review right now. And I have to say, there's certain elements of it based on my first impressions that I still stand by. But I might say that there's elements that I might kind of be wrong. It depends. But I'm going to take you through my experience review and pretty much let you know how the A52 5G has fared and if I recommend it. So yeah, this is it. My full experience review of the A52 5G. Let's go. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. Let's start from the outside and work our way in with the build and the design. And I said it before, I pretty much stand by the fact that although on paper the design makes sense, yes, you've got things like Gorilla Glass 5, it's got a plastic back, it's got IP67 water and dust rating, which is very rare to see at this price point when it comes to a mid-ranger. It's got things like 5G, and you've got this awesome blue color, but I still stand by the fact that when it comes to how it feels, yes, it's lightweight, but it just feels cheap and very plasticky and not the nice type. Yes, I love the fact that it does have a 3.5mm headphone port, and it's actually come in handy because the car that I use only has that when it comes to listening to music. And I love things like the dual SIM and a hybrid SIM slot because it does actually have a micro SD card, which if you look at the flagships that Samsung have right now, you don't get that experience at all. Button placement is great, but I would actually prefer the volume keys to be symmetrical to the other side or lower. As stated, really and truly, the design is nothing to really sing home about. On paper, it does a lot right, but personally, it's uninspiring. Does not really feel like anything special when you're using it. And it's safe to say that yes, within its £300 to £400 price range, you shouldn't be expecting that. But actually, when it comes to the competition, they've really improved the care that they put into the build and the fit and finish when it comes to the mid-ranges. And usually Samsung does well when it comes to that, but this one kind of misses the beat, even though it ticks a lot of boxes right. So I'll stand by that. And next is the display. Yes, Samsung are using a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display, 20:9 aspect ratio, 1080p, and the good thing about it is it's 120 Hertz. And what's nice is it's a flat display, and I prefer a flat display any time of the day. You've got a single hole punch at the top, which makes the viewing experience really nice when you're doing anything media consumption or navigating. But again, those issues with the haptic feedback, yeah, it's something that I've just not gotten used to, and I've had to disable it when it comes to the haptic feedback because it just does not feel nice. Compare that to competition, they've started to take care about the type of haptic feedback that they put in there. And the optical fingerprint scanner, the in-display fingerprint scanner still doesn't really sit well with me when it comes to using it. Yes, the 120 Hertz seems a bit more consistent now versus the first time in my experience with it, and it seems to have ironed out. But yeah, maybe 90 Hertz would have been better to balance out with the performance of it. The display is actually really good, no issues with it. It sits well, and it's a very good display that Samsung have put in here. Next is the performance. Again, Snapdragon 750G, it does support 5G. This particular model has 6GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, and a micro SD card slot. And the performance has actually ironed out a bit. Initially, I was getting some crazy stutters and slowdowns where the phone was even operating and looking like it was going below the 60 Hertz display. But so far, it seems to have been more consistent. Would I have loved the more powerful chipset in there? Yeah, potentially. But I think over the time when they've done software updates to it, if they can optimize it a bit better, it will be good. Overall, no complaints to like the performance has actually ironed out. It's been more consistent, so I can't really say much apart from that. Battery. When it comes to the battery life though, it's been really good. Have to probably say that's probably one of the best parts of using the A52 5G. The battery has been very consistent, sometimes into the second day without even trying. The only thing I'll probably say is that it does support 25-watt charging. You get a 15-watt charging, well, you get the 15-watt charger. Let me say that again. Damn. You get the 15-watt charger that comes in the box. It does support 25-watt charging. I did a separate video showing the different speeds. I don't think the speeds of the 25-watt charging on this phone really warrants having to go get it. So I say stick to the 15-watt and it pretty much will do the job from there. If you compare it to their flagships use that 25-watt much more efficiently versus the A52 5G. But in terms of the battery life, I can highly recommend it when it comes to how it performs. And we've talked about the software. You do have Android 11 and One UI 3.1. When it comes to things like monthly updates, Samsung looks to be really taking care of this, like I pretty much mentioned in my first impressions, and it looks consistent. Software, again, when it comes to the speed and performance, has been a bit more consistent. When it comes to things like the features, we know One UI, great multitasking, great app features, great notifications, and also one-hand usability with the reachability that comes with it. Overall, in terms of the smoothness, the 120 Hz seems a lot more consistent now, and it's kept up with it really well. So in terms of the performance, it seems to have ironed out, so I can't complain too much, even though I wish the software would match with stronger hardware internally. When it comes to the camera experience, this is where I kind of have to admit I had my doubts, but I might just be wrong. I did an ultimate camera comparison with the A52 5G versus the Oppo Find X3 Lite, and let's just say, although go and check it out, this really had a strong outing. I had my doubts about the 5 megapixel macro and the depth, and as much as I still want them to be done, it seemed like the 5 megapixel macro did a lot better than I expected. And in terms of the user experience, I really like the video performance. It shoots 4K 30 frames a second on all the camera sensors, and when you're recording, you can switch between them. The color seems consistent enough. When it comes to the sharpness, it looks really good. The dynamic range is excellent on here, I have to say. It's no Pixel 4a when it comes to picture quality. Yes, we can agree on that. And the picture quality is still very good. The video is the strongest point. Stabilization is good, especially at 1080p. And overall, the natural stabilization that you get in 4K is really nice. I have to say, I had my doubts about the camera system. And again, nothing special to blow you away, but it's really good when it comes to the camera experience on the A52 5G. And I have to say, that's where it pretty much proved me wrong. Let's pretty much wrap this up. A52 5G, again, I think it's actually a really good phone. I had my doubts about it when it came to my first impressions. There's some things I still would like be done better, but you know what? It's a good all-rounder and it's a decent outing, and you will be okay having it. It lacks a bit more focus since it's trying to go for an all-round tick box approach, but I think that is the nature of the A52 5G. That is it for me. Let me know your thoughts. Did you purchase the A52 5G? If so, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. That is it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, then you know exactly what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.